what they need to be told. That we want our young people to be the ones to give the advice. We want our young people to encourage our young people, male and female, because we think that that approach works much better, right? Peers are affected by peers. And so today on this Sunday, we just wanted to bring you a little information, a little love, a little empowerment by our team of the Butterfly. The Butterfly, let me give you a real quick snippet about how the Butterfly Empowerment started. Last year, we actually started in Jamaica, and we ventured out from Jamaica, and now through our global outreach, we are in Bahamas, Bermuda, Dominica, and the US. So with all that said, let me first introduce myself. My name is Donna Morton Morgan. I am the CEO of Women of Culture Incorporated. The president of Caribbean American Diaspora Alliance and real estate broker of Florida Summer Homes Realty. And the vision and the mission behind of all of this is for love, is to empower our women, our children, because when you empower women and children, you empower families and you empower communities at the end of the day. But today, it's not going to be about me. Today, it's all about our young, brilliant minds from around the globe. And I just want to first to say welcome to our mentorship leaders first, and then we'll go right into our program. We've got 4 segments for you. We do have self-love, we have protecting Mother Earth, and then we have be the light in your community through charity. And the 4th segment will be purpose, discovering your purpose and careers, right? Because we understand that purpose is needed. You need to not just go find a job. Long are those days where you just go find a job. You want to have behind whatever you're doing on this earth. Okay, so we're going to first welcome our mentorship leader. And let's see, Janae. Hi, Janae, how are you? And Janae is in Jamaica. You're on, oh, well, just wave your hand, Janae, if you, there you go. And then we've got Miss Verona. Um, there you go. And I'm not sure if Charlene, I think Charlene just came on. Charlene is actually, all our mentors are really, leadership is really in Jamaica because that is where we're based. That's where we originated. So we're going to jump right in. And oh, there is Charlene. Hi, Charlene. Wave. There you go. So I'm going to actually allow my mentorship leadership to take over most of the show, but we're going to start with our first topic, which is self-love. And once Janae introduces herself and speaks on that, we have designated young ladies that want to respond, and we'll let them introduce themselves at that time. Okay, thank you, Janae.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Jenny from Jamaica. I am a dental hygiene student, and today I'll be talking to you about self love. Okay, and I've entitled it The Power of Loving Me. For our agenda today, we'll be talking about self love, self confidence, and self worth. But first, what is love? According, oh, my bad, I was muted. My bad. Me. Okay, so we'll be talking about self-love, self-confidence, and self-worth. But first, what is self-love? According to the Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary, love as a noun means an assurance of strong affection, an assurance of affection, while love as a verb means to hold dear or to feel tenderness. Okay, what is this? Self-love. Come on, don't freeze on me. It is basically the acceptance of oneself for who you are. And I give you this quote from C. Joy Bell C. The only person who can pull you down is yourself, myself, and I'm not going to let myself put me down anymore. Self-love begins when we observe our actions and words with compassion as if we were our own best friend. And that's from Sarah Bosworth. Love yourself first. And in loving yourself first, you gain self confidence. And we'll speak about self confidence. What is self confidence? It helps you to deal with pressure while being assertive enough to stand up for what you believe in and in yourself. It makes you feel worthy despite your imperfections, your flaws, your mistakes, your weaknesses. And confidence, as it's here by Oprah Winfrey, it is confidence in our bodies, minds, spirits, and this allows us to keep looking for a new adventure. Self worth. It involves becoming less of a people pleaser. Love yourself enough to set boundaries. Your time and energy are precious. You get to choose how you use it. You teach people how to treat you by deciding what you want to accept and what you won't accept. And while you're practicing self-worth, do it with a smile. You are amazing, beautiful, wonderful. You are worth it. And I leave these tips with you. Thank God that you love yourself. Think that you love yourself. Feel that you love yourself. See that you love yourself and believe that you love yourself. And I end with this scripture from 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4 from the New International Version. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy and it does not boast. It is not proud. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Now we're going to open it up to our young ladies that wanted to come on and talk about. And ladies, feel free to stay online to come on camera. You don't have to wait until it's your turn. We definitely want to be able to see you throughout the forum. Okay. So our designated young ladies that wanted to talk about self-love. Let's see who, raise your hand first, and so we can go to you. I think I saw Akela. Akela, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Akila, a student of Homo Technical High School from Jamaica. Fall in love with yourself, and you will experience the best of life. Bonagatam. What do you think self-love is? One might simply say that self-love is just loving yourself, but it's not just that. It's prioritizing yourself, it's trusting yourself, being true to yourself, nice to yourself, giving yourself a break from self-judgment. Just stop saying I can't and say I can. And even setting health boundaries. You might say, what does health boundaries have to do with self-love? But yes, one can set health boundaries. When you look at your reflection in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see a person worth admiring, or do you see your flaws? All right. Notice that when we love a person, we ignore their imperfections or In other words, we sometimes easily forget that they did something wrong, and we just accept it. People are even unhappy with their lives, with themselves, their lifestyle. They don't like how they look. They say, I'm too fat, or my hair texture is too thick. But in order to have the best experience in life, we have to be comfortable with ourselves. We don't need to judge ourselves because everyone else around us is doing that. When we love ourselves, we don't compare ourselves with others. We don't blame ourselves when we don't achieve something we wanted, and instead, we just have faith, we reset, we readjust, restart, refocus as many times as we need to. Just don't give up. Hebrews 10:39, we are not the stars to shrink back to destruction, but the stars to have faith for the persevering of our lives. In life, we may face a lot of obstacles, but they're just there as a guide. They're a guide to success. We will never be successful in life unless we have undergone some struggles of the sort, or struggles, and even the people who influences us, whether to do good or bad, they make us who we are, and we can use it to become a stronger individual. I thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Akela. And again, Akela is from Jamaica. If you're just joining us, you're watching the Women of Culture Incorporated Butterfly Global Girl Power Summit. And this is in recognition of Women's History Month 2021. So thank you again, Akela. We're going to go to Jaylee. Jaylee, you're talking about your tips on self-love.
So I'm gonna talk about my experience with like self-love and finding self-love, because it took me a long time to get there. And I went through that little phase where I was like, oh, I used horrible words towards myself. And it was like, I didn't see myself in a pretty way. Like I was very grossed out by me and like disgusted, and I felt very ugly all the time. I'm not going to sit here and say that to have self-love, it's easy, because it's not. You have to put effort into having self-love, which actually you have to put effort into anything, but self-love is important, because if you don't have that, you're not going to care about anything else. You really have to, like when you see celebrities, you're like, oh my God, she's so pretty, because you view them in a high standard. That's how you view someone who you think is better than yourself. If you don't view yourself in a high standard, you're never going to feel like good about yourself. You have to have the mentality and the mindset of accepting who you are and accepting how you look and accepting your flaws and your insecurities, because that's what makes you you. And you're never going to have self-love if you don't accept those things about you. And same with self-confidence. Once you gain self-love, self-confidence will come naturally. It's just being okay with who you are and being okay in your own skin. And I might look different than everyone else, and I might not look like these models, but that's okay. I look like myself, and I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that. And you kind of have to view it in a different way. You can't view it in a negative manner, because it's easier to look at yourself with hatred, and it's easier to feel negative about yourself than it is to feel positive about yourself, because everything in the world is negative. So it's easy to be like, oh, I don't like this, or ew, that's ugly, or ew, that's gross, or that's not pretty. It's hard to look in the mirror and be like, I look so gorgeous, or I look beautiful. That's hard to do, because if you don't feel it, you're not going to feel like the enthusiasm of it. You have to teach yourself to have self-love and to have self-confidence, and to know your worth and know that you are worth it, and you are gorgeous, and you are beautiful, and you are enough. You're more than enough. And it's a lot. It definitely is. But once you're there, you're there. And it's, you look at things in a completely different way and you interpret things in a completely different way. And it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling for sure.
Wow. Thank you so much, Jaylee. Jaylee's from the US.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not sure. Jaylee's also my granddaughter, everyone. So sometimes I listen to her and it's like a mini me happening. And I'm like, oh my God. So we've had her involved in community work and serving and doing vision board. But she's been doing her own struggles, like each young lady, her own struggles. So at the end of the day, it's each one of you, no matter the love and the support that you have around you, you're going to be battling with your own struggles, right? And sometimes no one will know what you're battling with because everything is inside. So as she was saying, it's things that you have to learn, fight. You have to fight for you.
And at the end of the day, it's like, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about you. It's what you think about yourself. So if someone else doesn't like the way you look, oh well, they can't do anything about that. If you like you, don't change to please anyone else. That's not going to get you anywhere.
But it does take time, right? It does take work. And like Jaylee was saying, it's not just something that you just, wake up one day. So it's a process and we'll go through, so how does someone who has very low self-love, what do you do? We've got hand up. I think Lene, you had a comment about self-love. Thank you, Jaylee.
Hi, everybody. So my name's Leonae. I'm from Bermuda. So like Jaylee said, I completely agree because self-love is honestly like a choice. You might see some people who like embody it, but it's honestly a choice and it doesn't come easy. But I just have some things that work for me that I wanted to share that could help some of you like practically get self-love, because I know that's something we all want to strive for. So one thing that I highly recommend are affirmations. And like these could be placed around your room. You can even put them on your phone lock screen. That's something I like to do. Or even like in your locker at school, because it just reminds us to like think positively and can help us change our attitudes and have more self-confidence. Because at the end of the day, we can be our own worst critics. And some of the things we say to ourselves, it's like we never ever say them out loud or to our friends. But we have to realize that what we think we become. So whether you think you can or you can't, you're right either way. So you have to intentionally put the effort in and the intention into fostering positive self-talk. You have to be your biggest cheerleader. And then my second tip is knowing where your value comes from. And that's something that it's easy to forget, especially like in society, which encourages us to like focus on beauty or like material things like followers, like awards, money, where we live, our vacation, like all of that stuff. But it all boils down to our worth comes from God and God alone. And he knew you before you were in your mother's womb, and he set you apart for such a time as this. And you have to constantly remind yourself of that and remember that you're the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. And once you truly like let this set in, like then you truly realize how valuable you are, and you forget like all the stuff that society like forces us to focus on. And then the next thing I have is meditation. So the first three kind of all tie in together, but just like meditating on positive things, because also like Jaylee said, like it's so easy to be negative and everything around us like encourages us to either like be judgmental or critical of ourselves or others. But if you just like find some time in your day to just like reflect on what you're grateful for, your blessings, or like the positive things that happened to you during that day, that can definitely like help you exercise that like positive thinking muscle, because it takes effort and it's not easy, but you have to be intentional about it. And also meditating can be a great way to like relieve stress and just be still and take time to actually pause, because like nowadays it's all about like the hustle or like trying to do like get all your work done, like busy, 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 busy. The world never stops, but just taking time to like pause and reflect can actually really help your self-love, because you like can get to know yourself and like spend that time like nurturing yourself. And then some scriptures which I found which can help when you meditate on them, these are things I like to meditate on, are I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. God did not give me the spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. Love your neighbor as yourself. So we focus on the love your neighbor part, but you need to love yourself as well. And then she's clothed in dignity and strength. She's energetic and strong. And honestly, the internet is your best friend. So I just look up like scriptures for however I'm feeling, whether it's like sad or like worried or nervous. And there are like so many resources out there. And then the next, I just have a few more. So like creative outlets. So I personally like art and like dance and theater. And these are like fun breaks from school, but also they help me like express myself and get to know other people. And honestly, I think theater is what helped me come out of my comfort zone, because I think I'm naturally really shy. So like kind of getting involved in things like that can help you build your self-confidence. And then the last two things are like self-care and not being too hard on yourself. So like self-care can include like working out. Fitness is really important to me personally. And, you know, it says your body is your temple in the Bible. So just making sure that you're, you know, you want to nourish yourself mentally, but also physically, that's just as important. So you could find like sports that you like, maybe like volleyball or like soccer, swimming, gymnastics, whatever it might be. And it can like give you a nice break from your phone. And then also like trying fun, healthy like recipes could also be really fun. And like I said, not being overly hard on yourself. So kind of like the theme of how it's easy to think negatively, but just remembering that if you don't believe in yourself, then who else will believe in you? Who else will take that gamble? So really self-confidence, like once you have that, then the world is truly your oyster, but it takes time to cultivate it. But starting now, I think is really great that you all want to start now. And it's just super important in every area of our lives.
Wonderful, Leonie. Look, we are getting some awesome tips from our young people. It's just amazing. I'm not sure, Leonie, did you introduce yourself for everyone watching? Leonie is from Bermuda. If we forgot that, Jaylee is from the US. You know, and we had Janae, which was Jamaica. And so you see, we're just kind of going around. Akela was Jamaica. And so we're around the globe, everyone. And you see the awesome intelligence that we have. We've got that girl power thing going on today. I think, thank you so much, Leonie. Whose hand is up? I think Raquel's hand was up first. So we're going to go to Raquel and then to Kadre.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Raquel from Jamaica, an entrepreneur of a small business. I mean, what's my intake on self-love? Leonie has said it all, so I don't really know what to say again, but self-love is accepting yourself for who you really are. And don't mind what you see on the internet. Just accept yourself and accept where you're at in life and work towards where you really want to go. Because what you see every day on the internet is never real.
Right.
Not That's my opinion though. It's not real on the internet. You just need to focus on yourself, read more, meditate, and do exercise for real because that's helped a lot. So just accept yourself and always choose courage and kill fear. That helps with self-love. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That last part that you said, choose courage.
And kill fear.
You know, because we are in a world that, you know, like you said, we can have the family support. We can have the family support, but at the end of the day, each individual is going to be out there on their own, whether it's at school, that decisions are made after school, the type of friends that you're with, all these things are cultivating parents are not around. So that child or that young person needs to know deep in their heart what decisions to make, right? And many times it's going to be based on their own internal thermostat of self-love. It's, I do a lot of meditation too, and affirmations, and I'm so glad to hear our young ladies, young people, taking that path. But we have a thermometer basically about ourself, image. So if someone's thermometer is low and they don't feel very highly of themselves, they're more easily influenced to go down that wrong path than someone that feels like, no, I've got a lot going on for me and I'm worth more than that. I'm not going to get involved with that. So here you are, two individuals with two different mindsets about their lives. That is what makes the difference between us as individuals. Sometimes you ask persons, why did you make that decision? And sometimes they'll just say, I don't know. They simply don't know. They just didn't have that high thermometer to tell them in their gut, like, no, don't go there. Don't do that. Don't hang around that person. So when we do the affirmations and the mirror talk of talking to ourselves in the mirror and saying wonderful things to ourselves, it raises our thermometer. So now it's not saying you're going to be just, full of yourself. You're just kind of pouring, you're filling your cup. You're pouring into your cup and you're raising your thermometer of love about who you are. So you won't just accept any and everybody to come into your life and mistreat you, or to accept any little boy saying whatever to you, because your thermometer is raised and you did it on your own with your self-love and self-confidence and self-worth. Our next person I think wanted, Kidre from Jamaica. We'd love to hear from you.
Good afternoon. So to me, self-confidence and self-love is basically just, as I said before, just having respect for yourself. And like anything you put your mind to, you can achieve it. Just know in yourself that, yes, I can do this, I can do that. There's nothing I can't do. Anything I put my mind to, I know that I can do it. And yes, sometimes it is going to be hard. Even the most confident people have days that they don't even want to think about it. They just want to be in their own little space, and that's fine sometimes. As you say, you can do affirmations, anything that you're comfortable with. You can find hobbies, anything like that. Because sometimes it's really hard. You just have to try your best and give it your all. That's basically it.
Thank you so much. And so we're hearing it's hard. It's not easy. This journey is not easy. The decisions that we're going to be faced with is not easy. And depending on our environment at home, school, all of that makes extra challenges for us. So parents, we just can't just send the child out and just say, just say no and just do this and that. No, you need to also get involved and talk to your child and find out what's going on. What are you hurting? What are your challenges? And see if they'll open up to you about the challenges, because a lot of times we don't even know that they were going through something, right? We just kind of like think everything is fine. So we know that it's a struggle, and we must observe that these young ladies need the encouragement, they need the love too. So not because we're saying self-love, it doesn't mean that they still need to hear that from surroundings, but we know that for their lives to be better, they have to build up and raise that thermometer so that they don't rely on the young man or the man or anyone else to tell them, because they know that they're worthy. They know that they're beautiful. They know that they're intelligent, right? So that is the topic for today. So thank you for those that talked about that topic. I think we're going to go to our next topic, which is protecting Mother Earth. And let's see, there's Amika, the boxes jump around sometimes. Amika is actually in Dominica, and we were going to hear from Amika. She's all about protecting Mother Earth. Thank you, Amika.
No problem, no problem about that. Hi, everybody. Basically, I'm here to talk to you today about why we should protect Mother Earth and about just generally protecting Mother Earth. Okay. I'm currently in the Commonwealth of Dominica, sitting right here in the gardens at Tikwe Glow Show. It is a Creole or Patois term for meaning like small hole, small hot hole. Dominica is known for sulfur springs and all that natural sites like waterfalls and rivers. And so what better place, to do my presentation in right here in nature. As you can see, I'm surrounded by trees and you may hear a few birds also in the background. All right, so basically we live on Earth, we're here, we're here in nature, we're here on Earth. Earth existed before us, so we're basically in its space. And Earth is not just our home, people believe that Earth is a moon formed around the same time as the rest of the solar system. Yeah. So besides that, it's also called the Goldilocks planet, and some other little terms, but generally Earth is where we live and it's all around us. It includes the sky and all the trees and the birds and even humans make up the Earth. All right. And the main question here is basically, why should we protect the Earth? So something I found very interesting in terms of putting my presentation together was that I realized that if we look at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which basically shows like what we need to survive rather than what we want, these things make it so easy to understand why Mother Earth is important to us. So basically, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs in terms of motivation, how we find self-esteem in ourselves, or how the human race is motivated to do things, right? Or how their self-esteem is based, is when certain needs are met. So once one of your basic needs are met, then you move to the other part of the triangle. And then once those needs are met, then you move to the upper parts of the triangle until you reach all the way to the top. And once all of those needs are met, generally, that means that we are quote unquote happy, or rather content human beings. This can be put the same way for nature, right? So let me just give you a rundown as to what the Maslow hierarchy of needs actually has. So the bottom of the base of the pyramid, so just imagine a triangle, and the base of the pyramid says psychological needs. Then the next part of the triangle goes to safety needs. Then we go to belonging and love needs. Then there's esteem needs as to how we feel about ourselves, cognitive needs, we have aesthetic needs, self-accusation needs, and transcendence is like when you reach the ultimate, yeah, I'm good about myself, you're on basically cloud 9 about who you are and that whole self-acceptance, yeah? All right, so let's start at the bottom of the triangle where it says biological and psychological needs. You see, biological and psychological needs are stuff like air, food, drink, shelter, warmth, including sex, sleep, etc. These are part of the basic stuff, right? Let me show you how nature comes in with that. We need food to eat, okay? And most of our food and so that we get are from nature, fruits, vegetables, all of that come from nature. We need air. The air we breathe in is all part of the Earth's ecosystem. It's all part of our climate, oxygen, all of that. The temperature, warmth. When you're cold, you would like to get warmed up. That's what the sun does for us, and sometimes when you're too hot, that's what water does for us. It cools us down, and other beverages, which obviously come from the earth. when you're tired at the end of the day, we all want to retreat and sleep. If you're like me, I love my bed and I love my stomach. So once that is fine, once I have good sleep and a good meal, I'm okay. You can see me bubbly, bouncing in the city of Dominica. So trust me, that is also for everybody. Once you feel hungry and you get food, you're able to eat. You feel cold, you're able to get warm, or you feel hot, you're able to get cold. You can breathe the fresh air. You can sleep. Yeah. Also, shelter, homes, and etc. Keep in mind that most of our homes have some form of wooden structure in there. In order to make our homes, we need wood, we need the forest, we need the trees. Some of our beds, up to today, almost 90% of beds that are made out of wood. 90% of wardrobes and storage areas, kitchen cupboards, etc. 90% of that around the world are still made out of wood or lumber today. So that is just showing you the basics. That's just what the basic needs that we need. The basics that we need to be happy, that we need to be functional. That's how nature is already in our basics. We breathe the air, just existing, just being born, So all of that is all part of nature. Then when we move up to the pyramid, where we have our safety needs, feeling safe, all right? Protection from the elements. So basically safety needs include protection from the elements, security, order, law, stability, and freedom from fear, right? How nature helps us is that I live here in the Caribbean. I'm not sure how many Caribbean ladies we have around us. I see a few from Bermuda. I've seen Jamaica, Grenada, I think, and one or two other Caribbean islands currently. And based on that, you guys know that we experience hurricanes. Yeah. I live in Dominica where we experience everything except snow. All right. So we experience almost every natural disaster. My country has experienced flooding. We have volcanoes. We haven't received a volcanic eruption now, but we do get earthquakes and all of that. Just the earth telling us that she's alive. And during hurricanes and earthquakes, and so nature is what actually protects us. So because of how the volcanoes have formed our islands, if a volcanic eruption was to happen, then we know for sure that the volcanic flow, the pyroclastic flow would go down the rivers, and that will give us some time to get to somewhere else. Mountains protect us. Even back in the day where we had the slavery days and that, the mountains and the small holes and little trees and so were what protected the slaves from the white supremacy. And because of that, that is still part of our Caribbean culture. It's also part of how we secure ourselves. Nature gives us stability. In the Caribbean, our natural resources are used for basically everything, from food, clothes, everything. And we use that to market within, CARICOM, OECS, CSME, etc. And that is another reason why it's important. It may not be important for the rest of the world, but for us here in the Caribbean, it is definitely important. And stuff like trees and those things, those who live on the coast, plenty coconut trees and a few almond trees. And so they actually protect our coasts from the heavy winds that come not just during the hurricane season, but the general weather patterns of the Caribbean. Those coastal trees that we have help us. Those of you who have rivers in your islands, the trees along the riverbanks help the riverbank to stay stable so that your homes don't get flooded, that the river doesn't overflow the bank and come onto the land. So that's another reason why we have to protect nature. We have to love it so much as we love ourselves, that when we love it, it will take care of us, right? Because as you can see from the two levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we need nature. Basically, we need nature to survive. Yeah, and that's just the bottom. So just imagine going back further up into Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The next one is love and belongingness. Yeah. Love and belongingness includes friendships, intimacy, trust, acceptance, receiving and giving affection and love, and affiliating, being part of a group, family, friends, and work. Does anybody in here have like pets, like cats, dogs, rabbits, guinea pigs, any of those things? You know, that is where nature plays a part in that love and intimacy. We all have a bond with someone in our lives, and we as human beings make up nature. We make up part of the ecosystem. And because of that, loving ourselves, loving each other falls in the bracket of love and belongingness. We all want to belong. We all want to feel like this is where I am. And guess what? We all belong. Being a part of your country, your home circuits, your job, your friendships that you hold, all that is part about being human. And it's also part of the earth. It's part of existing on the earth. And in order for it to exist on the earth, we form those bonds. We form bonds with animals. We form bonds in the workplace. And because of nature, we have so many different jobs because of the natural sites, and so that our islands host or our countries host. We have jobs like, for instance, I work at forestry. I'm an assistant education and marketing officer. And because of Dominica's forest, because of the natural sites in Dominica, that's why I have a job. And some of you work maybe in the hotel industry, some of you maybe work at the bars, etc. However, it's because of what your island holds. It's because of the unique things about your naturalness, about who your island is, about what your island brings. That is what actually might be the reason why you have a job. So in all honesty, belonging and love for self and love for country and love for nature, that is where that comes in our lives. You can situate it in there. And of course, we move up where we go to esteem needs. I know the young lady who spoke before me was talking about loving yourself. Yeah. Esteem needs in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? They fall in two categories, right? So they fall in esteem for one's self, as in dignity, achievement, mastery of some sort, independence. And the second part of esteem needs falls into the desire for reputation or respect from others. These needs, right, will make you feel good about yourself, that you've contributed to a cause or you help fix something. Like, for instance, trying to be a catalyst for change in terms of fixing climate change, going out there planting trees, being more health conscious about yourself and helping other persons to get onto their health conscious journey. That is where that part of nature, that's the part of earth, Mother Earth, comes in. Another reason why we should love her, because she gives us so many things, and then we take, and then we don't sit back to relax and enjoy it. But also feeling a sense of like, yeah, I did that. I helped to clean a beach. I helped to feed the poor. I helped to protect some endangered species, or even if I may not be generally involved in that, but I did not litter today. I opened a packet of let's say Cheetos. I think most of us here know Cheetos. Yeah, I opened a pack of Cheetos today and I ate it. And instead of throwing it out there in nature or throwing it out there, I held onto my plastic bag, and when I got to the next bin, I threw it. Little things like that bring up our esteem about ourselves, but it also brings up our esteem as to loving nature, protecting nature, and feeling a sense of reputation, like, oh my God, respect. I'm respecting myself and I'm respecting nature by just not littering. And somebody might see that as something simple, but it is something that we also have to be aware of, because most of the time, we open just a simple something like a sweetie wrapper, and in your head, okay, you open it and you just throw it away, and we tend to forget that, you know, it's called littering, and that yes, it goes there, but then when you throw it out into nature, a bird eats it and then they choke, we lose species. For those of you who have turtles, you send it out in the sea, the turtles, the fish, etc., they eat it, and then that makes it worse for us, because when those things are unable to function in nature, we get the whiplash after. So it's all part about protecting nature and just, you know, being one and being environmentally conscious. We're almost there. The next set of needs would be our cognitive needs, right? It's basically the knowledge, understanding, curiosity, exploration, and a need for meaning and predictability, right? So the fact that we want to gain knowledge, the most ancient media is print media. Yeah. I'm not sure if anybody in there loves to read books. You know, I'm a poet, I write. I don't like to read, but I write. But for those of you who like to read, or even just seeing things like the newspaper, your favorite magazine, etc., all of that came from nature. You know, trees help us to make paper, the paper that we can print on. And so in receiving knowledge, it's not just knowledge in terms of, okay, the paperbacks, but in receiving knowledge, you get a sense of why we should protect nature, because all of that information that, you know, that's in the books have come from history, have come from experiences that other persons have had just by being on earth. And it gives us an opportunity to just sit back and just take it all in. And sometimes we may not have been there to experience it. And so stuff like books, etc., give us the knowledge. But in order for them to get printed, nature has to be somewhat destroyed. So we still have to appreciate the fact that we're able to get that information and don't just take it for granted. Curiosity. How many people here like to hike? I mean, like to hike, go to eco sites. Like right now, I'm actually currently at a birthday party, but still enjoying doing this Zoom meeting with you guys and enjoying nature. It's all part of our curiosity to want to adventure, to want to experience what the world has to offer. And nature allows us to do that. We can go to different countries around the world and experience waterfalls, lakes, um, maybe go zip lining in the forest, etc. Go bird watching and see how many different birds all over the Caribbean and around the world. And that is because of Mother Earth. That is all natural to each country, you know, and that is something that stirs up curiosity, exploration, you know, and the meaning for living. I mean, yes, we live to make an impact on others and to make an impact for ourselves. But at the end of the day, the whole point of living, you know, when they tell you to live is to explore, you know, go out there and be who you are and just exist on earth, but also enjoy earth. And in order to enjoy earth, some of that is what Mother Earth offers us, you know, like the sites, etc. Mother Earth also offers us the opportunity for science, you know, science and arts. For those of you who draw or maybe even know some artists, they make paintings and drawings and sculptures, and even the performance artists, the songwriters and the dancers, and they give homage to earth, give homage to what they see around them and how Mother Earth makes us feel. And we see the art, we get to see that experience and that the expression of what Mother Earth is to them. And that is something that if Earth didn't exist, our artists would not have that or have the mind to even probably draw waterfalls and draw beaches and give us such beautiful paintings that, you know, we can hang up at our homes and make ourselves feel nice and give places a great ambience. And of course, science. Part of existing on the earth, there are many maybe funguses and diseases and even stuff like just snake bites. Right now, there are vaccines made for that because of person's curiosity, their exploration, and just the whole vibe about science and exploration of science. But if Earth wasn't there, I doubt we would have been so curious as to find out, why do birds fly? Why do butterflies? Why are butterflies caterpillars and then they
Mhm.
become butterflies after, you know? So, I mean, all of that aids in our cognitive needs. And of course, when we're getting a little closer up to the top of the pyramid, we touch our aesthetic needs. So, aesthetic needs are things like our appreciation and search for beauty, balance, etc. This all comes to loving yourself and loving yourself by taking care of yourself. So, aesthetic needs would be things like our hair products, all our makeup, lotions, toothpaste, you know, everything that we use for self-care generally comes from nature. You know, I have natural hair and I see a few of you in here have natural hair, you know, like Miss Morton and stuff. And most of the time to maintain our hair, we need natural products like hibiscus and apricots and those of you who like all the peach scented lotions and vanilla, coconut, all of that. All of those extracts come from nature, which is another reason why we need to protect it. Because if you want to keep having the same hair products and nice silky hair for the next 50 years of your life, until you're gray, and even when you're gray, you want your gray to still be looking good, we have to take care of nature because nature is giving us all of those raw materials and products that help us feel good about ourselves, help us feel like, okay, you put on a nice perfume and you feel nice and sexy and you feel appreciated, to make sure our hair stays nice and make us love ourselves, make us feel accepted. So in order to do that, we have to take care of nature so that we can still keep reaping and sowing from those products and raw materials. And then we reach the one before the last at the top there of the pyramid, which is self-actualization needs. So self-actualization needs means that you realize your personal potential, self-fulfillment, seeking personal growth and peak experiences. It's a desire to become everything one is capable of becoming. Yeah. And in order to do that, nature helps us with that. I bet there are people here who it is your dream to travel to some part of the world. It is your dream to graduate. It is your dream to just try out something new. On the last show, Women of Culture, I think that I did with Miss Morton, I told her that I'm a stilt walker. And in terms of being a stilt walker, that is something that a lot of people will never dare to do. I walk on 6.5 feet stilts. That means when I'm standing from ground to my head, I'm about 10.5 feet tall. Yeah. So people see this as something very exciting. And it's things that stuff like that we strive to do those things. Goals. That was a goal of mine, to become a stilt walker. And then when I do it, I feel a sense of appreciation, a sense of actualization, seeing my potential in being a stilt walker. Just graduating, those things, reaching a goal, setting a goal for yourself and reaching it, all of that is part of us existing on earth, because we're dealing with other people, moving and socializing. We set goals for ourselves. We do things for ourselves that will make us reach our peak experiences. And there are things in life that we will never experience again. Like, for instance, I'm in the nature isle of the Caribbean. We are the home of the second largest boiling lake in the world. I have attempted 3 times to do the boiling lake. The first time I reached a third of it and I turned back. The second time I did it completely. And then the third time, it took me 12 hours. This hike is 6 hours long. All right, that's 3 hours to go and 3 hours to come back. The last time it took me 12 hours, almost a whole day. I started at 7 in the morning and I exited that trail at 6 p.m. This is something that I will definitely may not ever do again in my lifetime. But it's just the fact that I reached the lake, I saw it, I felt that sense of accomplishment, and I came back. And that is what Mother Earth offers us. There, like for those of us who want to travel to some country in the world, or travel to see maybe the Eiffel Tower, the seven wonders of the world, etc. Doing that makes us feel a sense of, yeah, I made it, a
Wow.
sense of self-fulfillment. And that is what Mother Earth offers. So as much as we have the natural parts of Mother Earth, we also have the man-made parts of Mother Earth, which are built by us, built by humans, so they have some connection of some sort to the earth. And that helps us with our peak experience. It helps us to be human. It helps us to just exist. And, setting
Yes.
goals is somewhat something that even if we may not write them down, but we all do at a certain point in our life. So when you're young, your goal is to, when we're young, we think that our goal is to get older. When you get older, your goal is to get your
Fulfill.
life together, feel that sense of self-love and self-awareness and just be accepted in society for who you are. And so as we get older, our goals change, but it is what makes us realize who we are and realize our personalities. And of course, when we reach the top of that pyramid where we know who we are, we're loving ourselves, we're loving nature, we've grown with a process of accepting nature and accepting it for what it is, we reach our transcendence needs. Transcendence is when a person is motivated by values which transcend beyond your personal self. Example, mystical experiences and certain experiences with nature, aesthetic experiences, service to others, the pursuit of science and religious faith, etc. So when we reach that level up there, right at the top of that pyramid, we feel a sense of accomplishment, a sense of almost like as if an out of body experience that we are no longer just human. We know who we are. It's like almost we're like a superhero to ourselves, So
Right.
that is what it is. I'm not sure if everybody has had the experience of going to the beach, but when you go to the beach, sometimes you go there and you sit and you're just sitting and hearing the waves move back and forth and just accepting, the nice sea salt breeze coming to your face and that whole experience of being at the beach, that is transcendence. That is us just accepting Earth.
Yes.
We're accepting Earth for being itself, and we're accepting ourselves for appreciating Earth. Sitting by those who have had the experience of visiting sites like waterfalls on a lake, kayaking on a lake. I did that yesterday, by the way. Kayaking on a lake, just sitting there in the middle of the lake and being surrounded by nature, and maybe birds are flying, etc. That is transcendence. That is Earth giving back to us, basically. Me right now sitting here, I'm just gonna tilt my screen a bit, and if you are looking up straight up in between the trees and just enjoying what nature has to offer, brings you in a different land. Yes, I'm here
yes.
physically
Oh,
as a human, but it also brings out your spiritual side, the side of you that the rest of us don't see. It's something that you can only feel. You can only feel it, that appreciation. You can only feel that mystical experience. For those of you who might have probably taken midnight strolls, with your friends, your family, maybe your lover, and you're just, walking there in a nice park or maybe just down the road. And that in itself is transcendence. It's spirituality. It's about your higher self. And
Yes.
Mother Earth and nature allows us to experience that even more by being the ambience, the atmosphere where we can express ourselves in those ways, like going to the top of a mountain. Those of you who are able to experience things like snow, when I experienced snow for the first time, I was like, oh my God, heaven has broken. I was just like
Yes.
so taken aback. And that is what Mother Earth allows us to experience. Has anybody enjoyed a nice sunset? Like, have
Mhm.
you sat there at the beach or even from your window and just take in a sunset, the sun changing from yellow to mix with the clouds and it turns
Right.
into orange and purple and you just get to see it end between the sea and then you don't see it again. That in itself is transcendence. It brings us to that spiritual and soulful part about ourselves. And when you can do that, and you have accepted that nature allows us to enter that realm of transcendence, then you are on your way. All right. And so
And Mika,
just to recap,
I'm so sorry. We're like almost out of time. We're just
oh,
and what you have to offer is so amazing. I'm gonna have to bring you on all by yourself just to talk about the feeling of Mother Nature, because the way you say it really captures.
I'm actually at the end, sorry, of my
Okay.
and I just wanted to give 2 tips as
Yeah.
to what we can do for Mother Nature. So I'm actually at the end
Okay.
of my presentation. So in order to help nature, we can recycle, reduce, and reuse. Try not to litter, etc. 2 sustainable ways of living, and of course, anytime that you can, plant a tree because it brings oxygen. It brings a sense of everything we mentioned in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It will help you to feel that sense of pride and something that you've done for Earth. And these are just a couple ways that you can help Mother Earth to just keep existing and coexist. So that's
Yes.
it from me.
Thank you so much, and I'm so appreciative.
No problem.
You broke that down. I mean, I don't think I've heard Mother Earth talked about in such a loving, caring way. So we'll definitely have to have you come back on a segment that it's all about that, because it's just incredible. I know we had a few individuals that wanted to comment about Mother Earth, and I'm sure it's Charnel, since her her video is all about Earth. Charnel?
Good day. So
Hey.
she touched on a lot of points um, regarding Mother Earth. And the key point I would like to point out when it comes to protecting Mother Earth is preservation. Preserving the earth enables us to not only have the stuff that she discussed for right now, but for future generations. Because while Earth does provide us with a lot of stuff, if we don't preserve it now, did all of those things that she said that we take from Earth, others won't be able to take them in the future. And as simple as she said, as planting a tree. Yes, when trees get cut down for publishing or homes and such, planting one back would encourage not only for us to continue that enterprise, but have generally. Also, I would say it is as simple as being conscious of not littering or reusing items, as simple as plastic bags when you go to the store, reusing them for other purposes, because while it does ensure efficiency, it can also prevent damage to other life forms, because as simple as the mask that we wear with the virus,
Right.
cutting the tabs off of the disposable masks ensures that they don't trap turtles when they may float to the ocean, because you may discard of them correctly, whereas in putting it in trash, but sometimes bags rip and stuff happens. So as simple as cutting the tops off of the mask can make sure like they don't trap small animals and stuff like that. So I feel preservation is a key factor of protecting Mother Earth.
Oh, thank you so much. And we Charnel, let everyone know what country you're from.
I'm from the Bahamas.
Thank you so much. I didn't even know about that little tip, like you just said, cut in from the mask. Because we see mask on the ground now, just thrown around. People just drop them. So that's very interesting. Thank you so much, Charnel. Did anyone else have a quick comment to talk about before we move to our next segment? Was there any other comment on Mother Earth? If not, we're going to thank you again, awesome ladies, for breaking that down for us, protecting Mother Earth. And Amika said we're gonna have to do a segment just on Mother Earth, and definitely have you and Charnel back on that. This is just a snippet of several topics. Again, if you're just joining us, tuning in, we are actually live on Facebook, and this is the global Girl Power Summit, which is hosted by Women of Culture Incorporated. And this is our butterflies that are all over. We just mentioned butterflies and how they transform. But this is our butterfly empowerment program under the Women of Culture Incorporated. And we're so blessed to have these young, intelligent women and young ladies from Bahamas, from Bermuda, from Dominica, Jamaica, and US, of course. So we're going to move on to our next segment, which is Be the Light in Your Community. We talk so much about that person need to do this or that person need to do that. Sometimes we just have to be the light. We have to be the change. And we're going to hear from Ms. Charlene Dixon, who is one of our butterfly mentorship leaders in Jamaica. Thank you so much, Charlene.
Good afternoon, Dana. Thank you. Good afternoon, guys. My name is Charlene Dixon, and I am the founder of the Blessed to Bless Foundation written on my shirt, and also the founder of Youth Identificated. This is an high school project that we go into high schools and encourage kids that about to make a transition out of high school, ways and means they can use their skill, their creative skill, and make money to send themselves back to school, or just to take care of themselves while going back to school. My foundation, Blessed to Bless Foundation, we give aid to the elderly and less fortunate, not somewhat always less fortunate, but also kids in school that is doing really great. We give voucher graduation when graduation season, are just doing good in school, like helping out around your surrounding. We go in and we would award them with badge and stuff. One of my team members is online as well. She's my secretary, Shana K. Mackenzie. And also we help on Mother's Day. We would give a mother that may not have the experience of going to the salon every week and getting all dolled up. We'll give them a makeover. We try to go in communities. I think we do over 10 communities since Blessed to Bless started 4 years ago, and give care packages to elderly and less fortunate. I could go on and on. I was also, because of this, I was awarded in 2018, the Nation Builders Award, the Prime Minister Youth Award. And that's a very, very high award in Jamaica. And I feel really grateful. And from that, the reception towards me and my foundation have been great. People coming to us, telling how much they love our work and they would like to participate, contribute. And that really speaks volume. And I would encourage you guys, if you have a passion of giving back to your community, don't let nothing stop you. Because I started out with a post on Facebook. Since my grandmother passed in, sorry, I am using my phone because my laptop is not working. Since my grandmother passed in, it was on me to do something. She always be giving back food Christmas time. And then since she gone, everybody went separate ways, nobody meeting up like that again. So I decided that I really want to give back. but I was going to do it differently. So I would just give back food, and which Christmas Day I consider to be family time. So we try to use New Year's Day. So I make a innocent post on Facebook that I'm going to use all my money that I work Christmas, because Christmas time. I am a cosmetologist, Christmas time, grand market time, you make big money. So I decided I would use all of my money and cook food and go around and give it to all the elderly people and less fortunate. Then I realized persons inboxing me, I want to join, persons commenting, I want to join, I want to join. And I have over 50 members, both in Jamaica and overseas, and we have been doing really, really good. I am really proud of my team because we're really dedicated and we're really hardworking, and we go above and beyond for our people in our parish, hoping someday we can get more funding and we can come outside of St. Thomas and bring it all over Jamaica. But for now, we're just St. Thomas based. And there is a slide provided. I think Verona have it, just to show you in depth of some of the work that me and my team have been doing in Bless to Bless, and also my project Youth Litificated. So you can watch, enjoy, feel free to contact us on Facebook, Bless to Bless Foundation, and also on Instagram, Bless to Bless Foundation, or Youth Litificated on Instagram.
Well, okay. Thank you so much, Charlene. Yeah, I know you do a lot while Verona is trying to find that video. Did anyone else want to talk about being, involved in charity? I don't think we've heard from, well, we did hear from Raquel, but Tashana or I think Aisha was there, but they're actually there.
She's also one of my members as well.
So while we're waiting for the video, Tashana, do you want your hands up? Let's hear from you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm not a part of the Bless to Bless Foundation, but I do a lot of charity work. I think women and girls should be more involved in charity. It helps with self-development. You're talking about learning to express yourself. It's giving without receiving anything in return, but at the end of the day, you feel so blessed. You're learning to grow each and every single day by giving. In my community, I think the greatest gift I could give is helping others, helping youth. We have given out care packages, distributing tablets and laptops within the community to help with online learning. I've done mentorship work and also homework programs to help, because the biggest issue that we're seeing in Jamaica is that with online classes, it's struggling with their mental health, and we want to make sure that everything is okay, right? So I just think that giving is the best thing possible. I'm just very passionate, and as females, we are very passionate. This is one of our most skills, our most highly recommended skills, to be passionate. It's an energy. It's that feeling that we can give and share with others. You are the light. You can just brighten up the room that you walk into. And that's just wonderful. We're transformational leaders. We are the leaders of today. And by giving back, trust me, it's the best feeling ever. And that's all I have to say on this. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much, Tashana. Aisha, did you have something to say?
I don't have anything to say right now at the moment.
Okay, thank you so much. I think we're still trying to figure out Miss Charlene's video. And in the meantime, we're gonna go to the next slide, the next presentation while we do that, which is by Miss Verona James, and it's Finding Your Purpose. And Verona is also in Jamaica. Thank you so much, Verona. Thank you so much, Charlene. We'll come back to you with the slide. We're not hearing you, Ms. Verona. You're muted.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Good evening again, everyone. I am here to just share with you this afternoon on how to find your purpose and your career goals. What is my purpose and what is my career goals are some of the questions you might be asking yourselves. How do I align my purpose with my career goals? One, find your passion. Find the things that you like to do. Identify your strengths. This is where you'll identify your talents. What am I good at? What are my skills? What do I love to do? So your strengths is often tied with your passion. And so if you love something, you will be excellent at it. Align your goals with your purpose and your passions. That's key to be successful of whatever it is that you want to accomplish. Explore the things that you love to do. You know yourselves best. Nobody can, don't allow anybody to tell you what to do. Look within yourself, search yourself to find your strengths, the things that you love to do, or the things that we call our passion. But in order to do this, you need to ask yourselves 4 questions. 1, who am I? Look in the mirror. Think deep about this question. Who am I? As you ask yourself this question, you're going to be thinking about some things that you will use to describe who you are. For example, when I was in college, after I left high school, I didn't know who I was. I had no desire what my career goals were. But as I entered college, I started asking myself these questions. Who am I? Back then, I realized that I was very dedicated. I was hardworking. I was considerate and I was career driven. What type of career did I want? I couldn't figure that out back then. But I know that I wanted to help other persons. And so that's my passion. Ask yourself, where am I going? At this stage, you might not know, but that is okay. Where are you? Where are you now? Where will you be tomorrow? In order to answer the questions of where am I going or where will I be tomorrow, you have to find out where you are now. What is your reason for being here on earth, in college, in high school, in your community, working? Where are you? No, this is where you need to ask yourself, where am I going? After you have analyzed who you are and where you are, you need to ask yourselves, where am I going? You might be working towards achieving your goals in an effort to allow you to excel in your career path and complete God's mission for you. That is okay. Your immediate goal might also be to get a degree, to get your passes in CSEC or CAPE, whatever those are. Work towards it. Now you have identified who you are, where you are now, what is it that you want to be, or where is it that you're going. It might be to college, university, to get a job. You need to find out the main question or the major question: how will I get there? There are many routes that can take you to where you want to go, but you need to think carefully as you decide how you're going to get there. It is possible for you to achieve your goals through spiritual, financial, educational, or emotional support. You might need to get a loan from the Student Loan Bureau. You might need your emotional support from your family members and your friends. You might need your spiritual support from your church members. And definitely, you need that educational support from your teachers. Know that you have identified the questions: who am I? Where am I? Where am I going? And how will I get there? You need to identify the things that you care about, reflect on what matters most, recognize your strengths and your talents, try volunteering, imagine your best self, cultivate positive emotions like giving gratitude, forget the negative thoughts. Finally, look at people who you admire. These might be your role models. Look at the persons who are successful in a career that are similar to those that you desire for yourself. Look at those successful people around you in your community. Connect with them. Connect with persons who can inspire you or to teach you something new or to help promote your ideas. Join clubs or societies. If you're in school now, it's okay. There's a lot of clubs and societies in your school. If you're not in a school, you're in your community, find a club in your community. Connect with those who inspire you. Remember, ask yourselves, who am I? Where am I? Where am I going? And how will I get there? Once you have answered those questions, you will be successful at your career path.
Thank you so much, Ms. Verona, for that. Those are great questions to ask. We all need to ask, even as adults, we need to ask ourselves those questions because sometimes we don't know, what do we want? Where do we need to, go? How are we going to even get there? But it's good to have some direction in our lives. Thank you so much again, Ms. Verona James, one of our butterfly mentorship leaders in Jamaica. I think, Kedre, you have a quick question?
No, that was just saying it's very
Okay.
informative.
All right. Thank you so much. I think Charlene has the video as we wrap up. Thank you everyone that you've been so patient with us for all these beautiful young brilliant minds to share with you. And I Miss Charlene, are you ready to share your video? So Charlene can begin to share her video. I just want to say while she's pulling that up that it's been such a pleasure to hear from our young ladies all over the globe, really. We heard from Bahamas, Bermuda, Dominica, Jamaica, and the US. And, we heard on topics, self-love, protecting Mother Earth, finding your purpose, being a light in your community, and for our young women to be able to have such vast knowledge on that is incredible. But I just say it's important for us to recognize that even though our children, they listen to what we say somewhat, it's their peers that influence them. So we do have to watch and monitor who are their influencers, really is what you should say. Their friends or their influencers. So if their friends have a certain mindset or limited mindset about life and about their future, it's really, it's hard. So monitor their friends, monitor their peers, monitor their influencers, because they're going to influence your child down a path. So I think you're ready, Miss Verona?
Journey, it's a long race, mama says so.
Yes, go ahead.
Some cry, some smile, some fight every day. We rise to the top, cause we know what it takes. Through it all we survive, yet still hold the faith. Unchangeable, Lord, unchangeable. Hey, no matter how the dollar might stack up, me still not change. Me, I go stay rough. Inna the giddy and you have to buckle up your lace. Be smart, don't be a gruff, no. Life, it's a journey, it's a long race. Mama says, son, be wise and don't bring disgrace. So me take up the broom and start sweep the place. Cause all these ways, they got to get erased. I love to me people that me embrace. The truth are the truth and that can't erase. So hell to all of those who want hate. Just send me to finish this race. So we ain't giving up, no. We put up a fight, we got to be ready, cause time's getting dreary. Just said, don't you worry, I'll be in a hurry, Lord. We got to be ready, cause time's getting dreary. So we pray, we pray, we pray, we pray, we pray, we pray. Let's not be flow when the prayer gone up. Not a evil can harm us. Them think we don't know we just a warm up. Yeah, nothing harm mind us. So me tell the youth hold on, tell mama be strong. Jackie, have faith in God. Me no know about man. Long time them a try bring me down, and not just now, from a very young. Chat me every day with them funny tongue. Them a watch me on the telly now. Yeah, giving up now. We put up a fight, we got to be ready, cause time's getting dreary. Just said, don't you worry, no. I'll be in a hurry, Lord. We got to be ready, cause time's getting dreary. So we pray, we die, we die, we pray, we die, we pray, we pray, we die.
Wow. That was such a wonderful video. Oh, Charlene. We just want to thank you for that. Thank you for all the work that you're doing in Jamaica, you and your team. Charlene, wait there. I know you're trying to juggle right now. That video said so much about community work. It said so much about, you know, just being a charity, being a charity in your community. Be the charity. Be the change that you want. Be the light in the darkness. And that's exactly what Charlene is doing in her team and our other ambassadors and youth ambassadors in our butterfly program. And I'm so blessed to have these individuals a part of this program, because without them, there is no program, right? Charlene, I love the video.
Thank you, guys. I just
Excellent.
make up that video today because the other one from last week, I was having problem with the song in it. It was a bit too low. Hold on, 1 minute.
Yes, yes. He's having feedback.
Stop this.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So that was
I
feedback.
just want to encourage the youths out there that have a passion to give back to their community. It's a very good thing to do, and get involved in whatever area you can. It's either giving motivational talks, just even helping somebody that live next door that is in need. Just it could be even a pad drive, any little thing. Giving back is always good, and it really go a far way. Just start. Don't think about what people might say that you're too enough and you're this and you're that. You know Jamaica people can be on a whole. You get involved. She nothing, every little thing she in a participate, especially the kids in school participate. It go a long way and it speaks volume for you. Have a great evening.
Oh man, thank you so much. Any last words from all our panelists that are still on? Let's start with you, Leonie in Bermuda.
Oh, sure. Just thanks everyone for coming, and I just hope that everything was shared just helps everyone who's listening. And just be encouraged, because you're still young, so you've still got time, but definitely just being intentional about like learning about who you are and practicing self-love and like taking care of our planet, or like even what careers you want and like all of those things, or being a light in our community. Like that's also important. And I think it's just important that in life we just strive to ensure we're intentional about all those things. So I think it's great that you all listened, and thanks for coming.
Thank you again. That's Leonie from Bermuda. How about Charnel from Bahamas? Any last word?
Good day to all the young and young at heart. Um, we hope that anything that was said today is carried out in life, and even if you didn't speak, I hope you can get a perspective on stuff. So thank you for coming.
Thank you again, Charnel from Bahamas. How about Kidre from Jamaica?
Thank you for having me, and thank you for everyone who told their perspective on things, on the different topics.
Thank you so much, Kidre from Jamaica. I think Janae is not available. Everybody's trying to finish up Sunday dinner and all that kind of stuff, and we ran over a little bit. So with that, everyone, we're going to say good evening. We're going to say thank you for watching, and we hope that this was a blessing. And maybe it wasn't for everyone. Oh, Charlene with the baby. Oh, oh my God. We hope that this was a blessing to your heart. Some part of it, maybe not all parts, but maybe some part. And this is just beginning. And, you know, we're not professionals here. I always say that we do everything that we do out of love. There's no production team, there's none of that, but we do it out of love. And we think our youth is the future. So it's just wonderful to be able to shape them and direct them. And nothing better than having girls empower girls. Because when we empower our mindset, we empower our families and we empower our communities. So thank you, everyone. Charlene, did you want to share your organization? Just a second. Yeah, just one quick second. Thank you so much, Veronica. I just wanted Charlene to have a chance to share her organization info.
Okay, I did before, but I will do it again.
Okay.
On Facebook, you can find us at Bless the Bless. Yeah, just Bless the Bless Foundation. And on Instagram, same Bless the Bless Foundation. And Youth Litificated, just Youth Litificated on Instagram.
Okay, so if anyone wants to donate to Charlene.
And if you want to contact me personally, you can call me by this number 365-3753. The area code is 876-365-373753. Thank you, Dana.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And you can find us at womenofculture.org, and on Facebook, Women of Culture INC, Instagram, Women of Culture INC. Feel free to hit us up and like and share the page and share the video over and over. And if you want to contribute. And thank you, everyone, for listening and watching. We love you. Bless up. And have a good evening.
Good evening.
It took some time for me to realize it's alright to let love in my life again. I must first love myself. You see, when you have learned to appreciate yourself, is when you can truly, truly love somebody else. You see, when you have learned to appreciate love yourself, is then you can truly, truly love somebody else. I have learned to love me first. Learn to be happy with myself. You see, I have learned to love, trust me first. Learn to be complete within myself. I'm in love with me, and it's not conceit, just the way it should be. Not afraid to express who I am. And honestly, it doesn't bother me with the category. Free to be me, so free. You see, when you have learned to appreciate love yourself, is when you can truly, truly love somebody else. You see, when you have learned to appreciate love yourself, is then you can truly, truly love